Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Prep Time. I'm Justin Barrientos at Cotter High School here in Winona as we bring you two stories. One is on Cotter Activities Director Jenny Carpenter, and the other is on Cotter sophomore volleyball and softball player Alex Strelow.
I just know that I'm inspired by her.
She is strong and one of the most courageous people I know.
She's really a source of inspiration for our team.
I don't imagine I could encounter a more courageous young woman.
But she's very gracious.
She's a pretty tough kid.
I don't know of anyone who has resilience quite like she has.
I had Alex as an athlete for the first time last year on the JV softball team, and I was so impressed with how she grew as an athlete last year. And by the end of the season, she was, on the varsity playoff roster and contributing and getting geared up for her summer season with the varsity program, and she was doing really great.
Alex Strelow approached the summer before her sophomore year like she had approached any other summer. She played in the Cotter marching band, she played softball with the Winona Windstars, she attended volleyball camps. Then the unthinkable happened.
Well, we were practicing over there, and I of course always dove for the ball, getting it in the outfield, and I hit my head, and then I thought it was just my neck getting all swelled up, and then for weeks after that, my neck just got really big and I couldn't breathe too well. I kept on coughing and getting sick every day. And then it wasn't until June, I think, where I was playing softball at my home team for a tournament, and I couldn't breathe.
We had taken her into the emergency room a couple times, and they thought maybe it was a goiter, and she twisted her neck when she fell at softball, so they didn't think anything of it. And you took her to the emergency room a second time, and they said to take her to her pediatrician, and they took some scans and they found out that it was Hodgkin's lymphoma.
And then I started on treatments for 2 weeks, and then I went home for a few weeks. And then I just kept on doing that for at least 6 months with radiation and chemo and everything.
It can't be real. She's an athletic girl, she eats well, how can this happen?
That weekend she came off the Winona tournament. We started off the season for the summer, and she was at the top of her game. She was just playing all-star all weekend. So when she didn't show up for the game, which happened to be in Rochester on Monday, the girls were just dumbfounded. Where's Alex? She was in the hospital right by the field.
I guess I didn't know what the percent of surviving level was on that because I'd really never heard of it before. And I don't know, I think I was really depressed for a long time, and I really didn't want to talk to anyone, and I really wasn't for sure if I was ever going to go to school for a while or anything.
Alex would spend the rest of her summer and the first part of the school year in the hospital and had to undergo 12 weeks of chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiation. She was allergic to some of her chemo drugs. She lost weight. Her hair fell out. She had to have 3 surgeries to get a power port in her chest to work properly. But there was one moment during her darkest hours that helped pull her through.
The one thing that was weird is that when I was in radiation, I was just closing my eyes so I wouldn't get sick as usual. And I opened my eyes and I looked above me, and it was just a transparent hand above me, and I closed them and reopened them and it was gone. So, yeah.
Normally there's nurses coming in and out of the room, and she closed her eyes and she was praying.
They have a mask permanently made for that holds her upper body in place, and so you can't move or anything, and so her eyes were closed.
She was praying and she opened her eyes, and she said she saw a white hand above her. Above her, it was transparent, and she wasn't scared. She just looked at the hand, and she said she looked around to see if anyone was around, and no one was there, and she looked back up, and she said the hand disappeared. And I told her that since this all started in June, every day I've prayed that God would wrap his arms around her and place his healing hands on her.
Alex was able to start going back to school in October and tried hard to keep up with her schoolwork.
She went through chemo and lots of the ill effects of chemo, and yet she was always just very conscious of bringing homework to me. I'll get you this tomorrow. I'll do this. I read this.
She was always so frustrated She'd be very, very sick from the treatments, but be really mad that she couldn't be at school. You know, and her parents would sort of have to hold her back and keep her at home, and she never wanted to fall behind. She didn't want any special considerations, you know, no like give me an extra 3 months or, you know, she really, really stayed up on top of it.
Well, anytime she was in school and she was in school for a full day, everybody was excited about that. And then a day or two later, she'd be out because she was in Rochester or she wasn't feeling well. And we just, you know, you kind of have that collective sigh of, oh my gosh, she's not here again. But every time she showed up and she was here longer and longer and longer, everyone was excited.
She missed a lot of school from August to October. We basically homeschooled her, and the teachers were wonderful, letting us know what to do. And she came back in October part-time, and I mean, they've rearranged their schedules to help her, and they've been wonderful.
Then, finally, on November 20th, 2012, Alex had her final radiation treatment. That meant she could take part in a special tradition.
Ringing the bell is after radiation's done and everything, and I gotta ring it after all my treatments were done. And also the president came up for that too, and it meant a lot. It was cool.
I went over to Mayo on her last day of radiation, and so we were all there to cheer her on. Mayo has a little ritual where you ring the bell when you finish radiation. So we were all there when she rang the bell. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2009 and went through chemotherapy and radiation, as did Alex. I think that was really helpful to Alex to have somebody say, I know what you're going through. I've been there. I went to Mayo. I rang the bell myself, you know, and so I think that helped her feel I wasn't just saying, oh, I know how it feels, because I know how it feels. And we talked about losing your hair and how as a girl that's really hard to do.
That was pretty hit home to me, because she would help me through everything mostly and everything, and whenever she saw me and everything, she always had to give me a hug and everything.
Strelow's teammates at Cotter, with the Winona WinStar softball team and elsewhere, were also there for her to help hold special sports nights and fundraisers.
You know, it was kids from the high school, people from church, people from Cotter, just special communities in Winona. This town is full of giving people. The support group is unbelievable. We've been very lucky. She's a strong girl, though. You know, if people could keep her mind off what was going on, it was the best thing for her. It was pretty intense for her, but the support group here, like I said, is unbelievable.
And the girls got together and really just to try to put something, they did a silent auction, and just a wonderful night. I think it was really one of the highlights was having Sister Judy come and speak, not only to, you know, our kids, but the visiting parents, and just really brought the place to tears.
And so there's moments like that that were just so incredibly special, seeing her friends rally you know, around her. And same thing with softball. I mean, when we first found out, we had a young lady who played softball with us last year who was from Korea, and I sent her a note because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not going to know what's going on. And even her heart poured out to Alex and wanted her email and wanted to get in contact with her. And
when we return here on Prep Time, we will continue with our story on Alex Strelow, which will include her return to athletics and her Hodgkin's lymphoma prognosis. That's all next here on Prep Time.
Hi, I'm Colleen Bushman, and I am HBC. I'm the Customer Service Director located in the Winona office. I love sewing, photography, and spending time with my new grandson, and HBC Internet allows me to see him anytime I want. HBC's customer service team is here to ensure that every experience you have with HBC is a positive one, whether you're signing up for new service, making changes to your existing account, or just stopping in to pay your bill and say hi. You will always feel welcome when you visit me.
We are HBC.
Join me, Justin Barrientos, for Prep Time on HBC 25. We'll take a close look at area high school athletes, coaches, administrators, and even go back to explore past athletes and stories that built the history of your favorite prep teams. Stories you won't find anywhere else. You can catch Prep Time at the following times only on HBC 25.
You know, we're doing things in bus magazines and the newspapers and things like that, and it's just like we seemed like we needed a different media, and we thought, you know, TV perfect. Laura. She is awesome. She came out the first time. She was very, very personable, tends to your needs. I mean, anything that you needed, she was right there. I literally, seriously, have been wanting to make more commercials just because it was such a great, fun process. I would recommend HBC to anybody.
Call Laura for details on how to get a free commercial for your business.
Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
Welcome back to Prep Time. We continue with our story of Cotter sophomore Alex Strelow, who was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in June of 2012. She battled chemotherapy and radiation to once again become a full-time student here at Cotter. But more amazing than that, she made her return to the playing field with Cotter softball in March of 2013.
So the fact that, here we are one season later and she has the opportunity, that was her first okay, you can start working back in. That was really great. The limitations they put on her, they just didn't want her to do live hitting. So in a game against a live pitcher for the chance that, she could get hit by a ball or stuff like that. But, she's still able to keep up on her hitting and practice with, tee work and soft toss work and, a lot of that. And she's been doing great. She's hardly missed a beat.
Alex is a good hitter, and that's something she really wants to do. And I'm sure it's extremely hard. The whole process has been hard for her to have to, miss school and miss sports and just kind of be on the sidelines a lot. But it's a start, just to have her back on the field means a lot to everybody. She's really a source of inspiration for our team. And, I think there's a day down the road that Alex is going to be a contributing member on the varsity, and it won't be this year, but just having her with us is just feels great.
Well, I think it'll take some time for her to adjust, and the hardest part is usually getting over the mental side of it and worrying about getting hurt and things like that. But she's a pretty tough kid, well, obviously, and she'll just jump right in and get after it. And it'll take her a while to get some of her skills back, but once she does, she'll be just where she left off. So.
Hopefully just to get back in everything normal again, just doing marching band and everything, pep band, sports, softball, volleyball, and hopefully other clubs and everything, and hanging out with friends more.
But being out here with the girls, to be able to play on the field and practice with them, it's been wonderful for her spirit. It's been uplifting totally for her. The team, that's what she needs to heal.
In addition to the fundraisers, the Strelows are thankful for all the support they have received throughout Alex's illness.
Well, this community is the best community in the world. I don't care what you say.
We have Cotter, we have St. Mary's Church, we have our family and friends. Sorry.
Well, a lot of staff and teachers did, and then I got at least probably hundreds of Facebook messages every day wanting to know how it was and everything.
The students were really supportive of her, and they're really inspired by her. And lots of prayer, different groups prayed for her. One group made a quilt for her, so lots of things where that kind of a story offers all of us the opportunity to go outside ourselves. But it takes a gracious family to receive that. And not all people are able to do that, but her family and Alex particularly have really been great about accepting people's outpouring of support.
But as much as people have given to Alex and her family, they have received as well in the form of inspiration.
Young people, and even some of us older young people, sometimes we take a lot of things for granted, and sometimes we get caught up in our lives. But for the students that we have that have the ability to take a second and take a look and really think about what's going on with Alex and with other cancer survivors and people that are battling it, I would think and hope that they'd be really inspired.
Well, Alex's story is a tremendous story of courage. I mean, it's just hard to believe that a young lady, 16 years old, has to go through the road that she went through. And Mrs. Strelow did a great job of keeping everybody informed, primarily through text message. And I remember reading those messages, and you kind of felt you were with Alex for the journey. And I had a chance to talk to her a few times during the journey, and It's just hard. I mean, there's nothing easy about it. She had a lot of doubts, a lot of fears, the whole bit, and I'm just so grateful that she made it through and is doing much better.
I treasure her as a special, young woman that I've had the privilege to get to know this year.
How is Alex and her family doing following the treatments?
February 22nd, I'm cancer-free, and I'm going to go back and get more scans done for every 3 months, and then go on from there.
She's kind of a hero to me, and I hope to other people. Just, here's what's in front of me, and I have to go through it, and so I'm going to grit my teeth and go through it.
When she comes to practice, she works hard. You can see her giving 100% of everything that she has, and she's doing a great job. And like I said, we're taking it easy, and the times that she can be here with us, we're making sure she's having fun. She's, like I said, she's going to give you 100% all the time, but making sure she's still doing well, and she's a rock star. She's doing great.
Beautiful young woman, and I just hope that things all work out for her.
Her time will come. She's still got time, and it's all going to work out fine, and she's just got to be patient, which for a young 16-year-old is really hard, and at the same time, I know she's going to make it through the other side and be just fine.
She just wanted to be with her friends, wanted to be back at school, doesn't want to miss out on anything as a young person, so I think that spirit's really going to carry her far.
We appreciate Alex and just want to help her get through whatever she's going through, which is beyond imaginable for the rest of us.
To be able to be out there now and to be a real part of the team, again, it's just her determination just speaks volumes.
Little things don't bother us. Family, survival, our children, that's most important.
Yeah, you don't worry about the small stuff anymore. You just thank God for every day.
Good health.
Alex is confident that she will rejoin her volleyball teammates on the court when that sport starts up for Cotter again in the fall. Coming up here on Prep Time, we will talk to Alex's junior varsity softball coach and Cotter Activities Director Jenny Carpenter. That's next here on Prep Time.
Hi, my name is Joe Glendy and I am HBC. I am the HBC Air Network Engineer located in the Winona office. I spend my free time streaming movies with my girlfriend Janelle, as well as playing online video games. HBC's leading-edge internet service has the speed, reliability, and capacity I require for all my online entertainment needs. HBC's LumenNet internet service even offers symmetrical upload and download speeds.
We are HBC.
Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
Join me, Justin Barrientos, for Prep Time on HBC 25. We'll take a close look at area high school athletes, coaches, administrators, and even go back to explore past athletes and stories that built the history of your favorite prep teams. Stories you won't find anywhere else. You can catch Prep Time at the following times only on HBC 25.
Hi, I am Cindy Yeomans, and I am HBC. I am the local customer service representative located in the Red Wing office. HBC Internet Service allows me to stay up to date on the local news and weather available online at hbci.com. HBC's customer service team is here to ensure that every experience you have with HBC is a positive one. Whether you are signing up for new service, making changes to your existing service, or stopping in to pay your bill, you will always feel welcome when you visit me.
We are HBC.
Jenny Carpenter completed her second year as Cotter Activities Director this spring, but her Cotter journey began when her brother decided where he was going to go to college.
I came to Winona State, kind of followed in the footsteps of my older brother, Jeff Dobberton, who played both baseball and football for the Warriors. He started playing up here when I was a freshman in high school, so a lot of our road trips on the weekends were coming up to watch him play, and I always just loved the community that supported the Warrior Athletics, and that's kind of how I fell in love with it. And when it came my time to start looking at schools, I had basically two criteria. I wanted to get into a good public relations, mass communications program, and I also wanted to be able to play college softball. And had a couple opportunities, but I always just knew that Winona was kind of that, place away from home for me already, and that it would be a really good fit.
Well, I think the thing that stands out to me about Jenny as a player was her stick-to-itiveness. The fact that we changed positions with her. She came in as a shortstop. We ended up moving her to first base and using her athleticism over there. And kind of kid that just stuck it out and worked at the game, and all of a sudden as a senior really got her first prolonged playing time on a regular basis and turned it into a first-team all-conference performance. And we talk all the time about the importance of seniors in our program and that type of leadership, and that's just one of the great stories we've had in the program.
I kind of started out in the public relations marketing field when we, decided that Winona was going to be our home, and started coaching for Pat Bolin, junior high softball. I just loved the sport and wanted to get into coaching and being able to, help young athletes mold themselves into better players, better people through the wonderful game that sports are and what it has to offer. And gosh, when I always say when God closes a door, he opens a window, and that's kind of how my journey has been that got me here to Cotter. And was looking for a change in opportunity, and had a sit-down talk with Pat kind of as, hey, do you know anyone? I really want to get into athletic administration. That's where I wanted to be. At the time, I already had my master's in sports management through Winona State and educational leadership. And he said, well, that's funny because I actually need a assistant athletic director at this time. I said, great, sign me up.
Well, I think Jenny's got great people skills, and I don't think there's anything more important in any administrative job than having good people skills, and Jenny has that right away. She obviously has a great athletic background. She grew up in an athletic family. She was an athlete herself at the college level and high school level. And I just, some people, when you meet them, you just kind of know they have the right stuff, and Jenny has the right stuff.
Oh, I work with Jenny probably on a daily basis, just in trying to organize a school day. And I am amazed at her organizational skills and her ability to multitask. I mean, we all have to do it, but Jenny has a real way of doing it with grace and with a sense of humor. When you're working with young people like she does, and adults and refs and everything else, it is just phenomenal to see her step into that position and to do it in such a good way.
Well, you would never know that she's just in her first couple of years as the AD. She's wonderfully talented and giving, and cares a great deal about the school and about the kids too, and the coaches. So she's really, she's like a veteran in the job, and she appears as if she's been doing it for a long time. She brings some great skills to the table. She's very organized, and she's very directed, and she's caring, and she can be pretty tough when she needs to be, and she can be very supportive. So it's been a joy to work with her. And even if I wasn't in the athletic office, just coaching under her, and she's always looking for ways to help the coaches to improve and to make things as good as possible for not only the players and the parents and the community, but for our staffs too as well.
And as an athletic director, I cannot tell you how good of a job she does with everything. She's very detail-oriented, is great motivated, and one thing that I never experienced before with other athletic directors is she's really concerned about helping the coaches to grow as a coaches. So she has conducted a book study with the coaches at 6 in the morning because the schedule is really busy. So she encouraged everybody to get here at 6. She also, previous to the season, she started with cookout in her house.
Yeah, that was the first time we've really done that, and we were out at the Carpenter household, and it was great because we brought families and our kids were with us, and you got to see other coaches. Some of them, it's the first time I knew their name. I'm not a Cotter staff. I'm just there as a coach, and I think it's good because it also brought about some opportunities to learn about what programs is football doing in the off season. How is volleyball keeping their kids fit in the summer?
You're part of a greater whole, and anytime we can get together and try to enhance people's learning and knowledge about coaching is a good thing. And if we're doing something in volleyball similar to what Coach Bolin is doing in basketball, and maybe there's some carryover. So we share so many of the same kids that's a positive, certainly.
Carpenter also has the unique situation of trying to fill sports rosters in a small school and has a population of international students who want to play sports but may not understand them.
It's different, and a lot of it is cultural based, from the sense that, you know, the kids that grew up in America, you know, sports have been such a big aspect of the culture, whether they were, you know, actually involved with it or not. It's in the media, it's talked about all the time, and the opportunities that we have for youth in America in athletics is a lot different than it is in lots of other parts of the world. And so it's really cool to be able to give these students who maybe haven't had the chance before to have the opportunity to you know, learn outside the classroom from athletics and all the great life lessons that being a part of athletics teaches us. So it's from a coach perspective, you know, you, like I said, you might have athletes who are, you know, in 10th, 11th grade who know nothing about the sport, but it makes you a better coach. Whether they're local kids or international kids, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we have, you know, rosters that we have to fill, and we're a very small school, but we offer alone, the programs that are ours that we don't co-op with, 16 varsity programs. And that's a lot. You know, we have 7 that are solely Cotters in the fall, and 7 in the spring, and then 2 in the winter, along with all the sports that we co-op in as well. So it's definitely a challenge, but I would say we probably have the highest participation rate of students who also are involved in activities because of that, because we need everyone at the school to be involved.
How is Carpenter doing just a few years into the job of managing all of those sports, coaching, and teaching a journalism class as well?
Jenny's been fantastic. It was really a nice, smooth transition from Pat to Jenny. And she's been very communicative. She's had some new initiatives and understands, I think, both the student concerns, trying to keep programs competitive, and also communicating with all her different constituencies. So I think nothing but the highest praise for her job so far.
I think Jenny's found a good balance between, you know, professionalism, personalism. You know, she's really done a fantastic job, and I think has a great career ahead of her.
She's confident in what she's doing. She has the ability to make quick decisions if she needs to. You know, not the I have to check with somebody attitude, and I think they appreciate that, because I think it's a job where you have to make those decisions on your feet and sometimes very fast.
And I think she's done a tremendous job, really brought some new ideas to the activities department and improved upon some of the ones that were already there.
From the get-go, I was super excited about working with her. Really, I cannot tell you how much she does for the school.
Her just natural intelligence and goodness with people just comes forward. So it's a wonderful job. It's a good fit.
And she and I share a lot of common visions for how Cotter can even improve. Both the spirit of athletics, behavior at games, you know, all those kinds of things, in addition to the sports part. I let her do that part.
What would Carpenter like her legacy to be at Cotter High School?
Did the people I worked with or worked for, the kids, did they feel valued? Was I able to make an impact on what was given to me? Did I make a difference? Did I help make a difference in a child's life because of, whether directly or indirectly, because of, you know, a program that we set up or the way we chose to do anything? Is that it's all about, you know, helping to create a better world.
And that's all the prep time that we have for you today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Justin Barrientos, and we'll see you next time.